Now, this has to do with your note cards. You're going to need to make a cover card. So just take a 3x5 index card, and up at the top put your first and last name, my name, the period, and then just write cover card. I'll just use this as a way of writing any comments on it, anything that you need to know from there. Now, as you before you begin, you're going to create a working research question. Here's an example of one that I did. What is the best solution to the societal problem of teenage runaways? It's just a question that is driving your overall research. And now you are synthesizing at least 8 sources. You want to have something that's going to push your research forward. The qualities of this research question are as follows. It allows for analysis. You know, when we talk about the best solution, we have to talk about multiple solutions in order to do that. So we have to be able to say, well, why does this solution work better than the other one? It allows for a conclusion. You know, it takes us into a certain place where we can reach a conclusion. We can say, this is the point where, at the end of all of my research, that I have a concluding thought on this particular topic. And finally, working just simply means that it's possible to change it as you're doing it. Most people tend to keep the same question throughout the whole process, but if you need to change it or reword it, that's entirely up to you. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to use what is called a preliminary outline. And I would have these questions right beside you as you go through each one of your sources that you have. The first one is what makes this topic significant or arguable. So when you are looking at your first source, just is there anything in that source, anything that's written there that says, you know what, this is why this topic is important, this is why it's significant, this is what makes it a debatable or arguable topic. Then you'll create your note card, a note card from that one. Another one would be what are the causes and or history of this topic. You know, again, depending on what your topic is, it may be something you're talking about causes, something that has led to this issue developing, or it may actually have a rich history behind it, background information that you need to include. You just have to be your own best judge as to what you need to have to help your reader understand your particular topic. What are the effects of this topic on the individual and society? How is this affecting one person? How is it affecting groups of people or society as a whole? Those are things that you should look at when you are reading through your article. And number 4, what possible solutions would address this problem? You know, if there isn't a problem, you know, where do you see this problem resolving itself in the future? What do you think will happen with this? And finally, what are some different ways of looking at this particular topic? What are some diverse opinions? And so you have 5 questions that you should ask yourself. So you'll take one particular topic, or one particular resource, and then you'll do note cards based on the content of that source. All of these questions will not be answered by one resource, but several of them probably are. So you just have to be your own best judge for them. Now, what you can tell is this is a bibliography model from your works cited. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, as you are writing the note cards, that you use a parenthetical reference there at the end of the note card. So whatever is on the left-hand side, whether it's the author's last name, which you see here, which would be Lundman, or it could be the first couple words of the title, whatever is the first item on that bibliographical list. Should kids would be what you would use in there. And you'll use that as a parenthetical reference, meaning you'll take that and you'll put that at the end of any content that you did not know prior to reading that particular article. And this will all make sense as we go and start talking about the note. these are the items that you'll need to have on your note card. Now I'll follow this up with an example here in a minute, so let me just kind of go through these with you. First of all, you'll use portions of the preliminary outline as slugs or headings. So for example, if you find something in the resource that talks about the effects on the individual, just put a Roman numeral 3, effects on the individual, in the upper left-hand corner. That way you are labeling what that particular card is about, that information on there. It's helping you to classify it, so that way you'll have it for later. I need you to place the bibliography number in the upper right-hand corner of each card. That way, this will just help you keep track of your resources, where they're going, what is the primary source that you're using there. Definitely use the parenthetical references. Remember, that's the parentheses with the author's last name. If you don't have the author, you should use the first couple words of the title. You should also include speaker qualifications. Who is this person? What are his or her credentials? What is the context in which he or she is speaking? That is something that will be a requirement for the research paper. So you definitely want to make sure you put it on each one of your cards for that particular source. And finally, you can use a summary, a paraphrase, or a direct reference. Summary is just putting whatever it is in your own word. Paraphrase is basically taking it word for word, but using some different diction or syntax for that. And then the direct reference would be using quotation marks. Either one of those is fine. Now this is the actual card itself. You'll notice up at the top I have number 3, effects on the individual. And then in the upper right hand corner, this is from my bibliography card number 2. And I write, according to Susan Lundman, comma, a health specialist for the state of Nevada. This is about who this person is. It gives her some credentials. Lets me know that she just isn't an ordinary author, she's a health specialist. According to Susan Lundman, a health specialist for the state of Nevada, vegetarian chili offers, quote, a rich complexity of nutrients to satiate the hunger of any person striving to eat healthier. You'll notice that is from Lundman, so I put the parentheses there, and I put the period after the parentheses. This is one of the many recipes Lundman and other health specialists around the country offer to the public as alternatives to health-conscious individuals. So again, bibliography card top, number at the top right hand, slug, top left hand, you put the author, credentials, and then you write whatever you want to on that. You can write a direct quotation. You can also develop a summary of it. This should be a card that you would be able to slide right into your research paper. If you do a quality work on this, this is definitely going to help you as you're writing your paper and make things a little bit easier for you to do. Now your end product, the paper itself will be 8 to 10 sources. It's going to be 8 to 10 pages, not counting the works cited. A lot of people look at that and say, I'm going to have a hard time doing 8 to 10 pages, but if you use the process that I'm showing you here and continue on with the next steps a little while, this will be very easy to do. And then you'll have it'll be an MLA format, you'll do a sentence outline, and then the topic will be thoroughly developed. So I hope this helps you kind of get yourself started. Remember, it's your research paper, it's your product. Make sure whatever you write on there is good content, quality content. I'd rather you have fewer note cards with higher quality content than multiple note cards that have shorter bits of content. All right, good luck.